Welcome back to Lock and Reload. Now, I know if you've been paying attention to my channel that I generally do tactical gear, firearms, reviews, and anything above. I don't generally do knife reviews. Why? Because there's a lot of them out there. For instance, one of the biggest ones that I know of, Nothing Fancy, he does awesome knife reviews on top of everything else that I do as well. But anyways, I am going to do a knife review, and this has been an ongoing test with this knife since I've been 12 years old. I'm 25 now, you do the math. I've had this particular knife since I was 12 years old. But the knife in question is the Buck Classic 119. And when it comes to hunting knives, I generally prefer a knife that is a fixed blade. Many different reasons. Buck actually makes a lot of nice folding knives and whatnot. They make a lot of awesome knives in general. But the whole reason why I am doing a video on this particular knife and why I'm going to do a review on it is it's rugged, durable, and the philosophy of use of this knife. Now, I don't recommend this to be a tactical knife or a everyday carry knife. It is kind of big. But if it comes to hunting game of whatever, I don't recommend it for squirrel because honestly squirrels are a little bit shorter than this knife. But if you're white-tailed deer hunting, muley hunting, elk hunting, caribou hunting, any moose hunting, any big game hunting, I recommend this knife a lot. For the simple fact, it's solid design. It is a full tang. It doesn't have rivets on the side like a lot of knives do. This knife is very ergonomically designed. It does have miniature finger grooves that go along the handle. This handle is a highly polished polymer and just really rugged. It is one solid piece. This isn't exactly injected molded. I know a lot of knives have injection molds, and you can usually see the injecting, I call them razorbacks, but they'll have the little slit right here, or the little bit of access that's right there, and you can see usually see a really big line. These are really smooth. These are nickel plated. As far as I know, they're nickel plated. A lot of people confuse these with chrome, but I'm pretty sure they're nickel plated. This is a 440 stainless steel blade. And again, philosophy of use hunting. I don't recommend folding blades just because that's my principle and what I believe in. Your mileage may vary. But the whole reason why I use this thing as a hunting knife, and any of you out there that have ever field dressed a animal a good size, that generally the little brisket bone by the pelvic bone you have to cut through to make the rear legs go flat, so it's a lot easier to field dress it and quarter it out later. The whole reason why I like this knife a lot is this flat piece on the back of the blade itself, because honestly I don't want to take a hatchet out with me, and that's why I have, you know, the width of blade that it is. You can essentially put your foot on here, press down as long as the knife is sharp, and you're going to be able to cut through that. More or less not, you're not doing, you know, the hacking motion like so. You're just constant pressure, push down, and it'll cut right through every time. So I obviously got a huge blood groove on it, and no, it's an all-around great knife. I've cut everything from white-tailed deer with it to cans to I've cut wood with it, I've whittled with it, you name it. I've probably done it with this knife. It's very solid, rugged design. My dad owns one of these too, because he had a Buck, I don't remember the number. His Buck knife was a folder, came with a leather holster and whatnot, but his wore out. Granted, it took 20 years to wear out, but it finally broke, and that's why I like a fixed blade for hunting purposes. These are very lightweight. They're not the lightest knife by any means, but they are light enough. But I find these a great knife. They're inexpensive. They're not. You can get a lot more expensive knives out there. You can get a lot cheaper knives. You're looking at about, bottom line, about 50 bucks or $49.99 for this knife. You can get them anywhere from Walmart to your sporting goods store, and these are lifetime warranted, which is phenomenal. Now, Buck does come with two different sheaths for it. This is a nylon sheath. this knife originally had a leather sheath, and the whole reason I switched to nylon is, and I'm not discrediting the sheath by any means, but the leather one that I had right up here, where you actually put the knife in the actual sheath. Just do that a second. It does have some form of movement. It does make a little bit of noise, but in my leather one, every time I walked, all I hear is gaduk, 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 and I couldn't stand that. It just drove me nuts, especially when you're trying to be really, really quiet. This one has less because it's nylon. Now, on the inside of this sheath, like a lot of knives, a lot of knife sheaths, these are plastic lined or polymer lined, so you don't essentially accidentally stab yourself, because we know there are lots of idiots out there that like to play with knives in an unsafe manner. Now, obviously, this isn't a factory finish on here. The factory finish isn't far off from this, but again, if I'm gonna have something clean, what I generally do on a lot of my stainless steel anything is I'm not looking for the ADOS, which is ADD. I have AD, shiny syndrome. No, I'm not looking for that aspect. What I'm looking for is rust preventative. The more polished the surface is, the less it's going to rust, if at all. But anyway, so the brighter points of this knife, it is a solid blade that goes all the way through the handle, or a solid tang. They are nickel plated on the, whatever the hell you call this thing, protects your fingers, or the finger protector. I mean, it could be chrome, but I'm pretty sure these are nickel plated. Polymer handle and a 440 stainless steel blade. High quality, really easy to sharpen, really easy to maintain a edge on it. That brings me to my other attention. When it comes to sharpening knives, there's a lot of videos out there, and people might dog me for it, but whatever. Don't really care. Not here to grab your opinion. This is my insight on anything. But what I use a lot of times, I use a honing stone, which that's somewhere off, and I use a honing stone for, well, honing it and smoothing out the rough edges. What I use is a carbide sharpener, and on the inside, if you can see that, there's carbide. It's in a V shape, but they're carbide bits. And that's how I sharpen my knife, and basically it's easy peasy. All you do is put it on the inside of here and you drag it across, and it will sharpen the knife. I like this. They're inexpensive. They're a little over $6, or a little under $6, but Smith makes it. It's a great little sharpener. If you're looking for something, you want good results, but you don't want to spend an arm and a leg and all your toes for it, I recommend this. Back it up with a honing stone, because this will put the edge on it, but you're going to need to smooth it out so it's not exactly what you call rough. And but at any rate, this is the Buck model 119 Classic. This is Lock and Reload with Ryan. Catch you later.